authentic conversations about ourselves and our community, exploring topics that uplift and inspire us. From personal growth to social change. So grab your teacup and get ready to join the conversation.
Dick. And Pac's like, hell nah, you want to pull your dick out, nigga? Nah. And he left, right? So, like, just wild shit. Puffy did not give a fuck, you know what I'm saying, about how, who, where he got down with. It's like, when the fuck did he ever even find time to make music, right? So Kim walks in on another chapter. Puff Daddy and Jimmy Henchman having a conversation in his office. Puff Daddy did not have any, reservations about speaking openly and freely in front of Kim, because Puff Daddy is known for, I should be able to trust you. If you're not loyal to me, then I won't be loyal to you. And whatever is what will be, right? So Kim says in her tell-all book, Kim's last words, that she overheard Jimmy Henchman talking in Diddy's office with Diddy about Tupac not leaving a quad studio session alive. That needed to be done, man. Jimmy Henchman agreed to that. And the next thing you know, Pac was shot at Quad Studios, and all that was blamed on Biggie, but it was really allegedly Diddy that set that whole thing up. Y'all know that's been going on and going around. Keefy D's now incarcerated for that, going on trial about it. Allegedly, Puff Daddy paid or was going to pay Keefy D to kill Tupac. So where I'm at with this, with the Kim Porter tell-all book, it's like, okay, now you knew, as you tell us in your tell-all from Beyond the Grave, that Puff Daddy and Jimmy Henchman, you overheard them in a conversation that they were going to take out Tupac. And you were so in love with Tupac, you loved fucking Tupac. Why wouldn't you alert Tupac of this conversation that you had, or that you heard from Jimmy Henchman and Puff Daddy? Why wouldn't you tell Tupac, nah, baby, you don't want to go down to the Quad Studios? Well, why is that? I walked in Diddy's office and overheard him setting up a hit for you at Quad Studios with Jimmy Henchman type shit. I'm telling you because I love you. I love fucking you. I love fucking with you. I love everything about you, Tupac. I don't want to see you hurt or kill, baby. It's like, Why wouldn't you, knowing what you told us, that you're fucking with Tupac, you're in an intimate sexual rendezvous with Pac, y'all having sexcapades, all of that shit, why wouldn't you alert Tupac to what you just overheard Puff Daddy and Jimmy Henchman talking about in his office? Why wouldn't Kim Porter do that? That would have saved Tupac from getting shot the first time, right? Is it me? Or are y'all like, that's a fucking good point? If Kim Porter in her tell-all book, if that's what actually occurred, and her tell-all book is true to the word, that she walked in on Jimmy Henchman and Puff Daddy having a talk about killing Tupac at Quad Studios, why wouldn't she tell him? You know what I'm saying? Puff Daddy can take it as like, okay, hell, Pac just didn't show up that night, whatever. We couldn't get him on that night, man, whatever. But at least he wouldn't have got that night, right? Tupac ended up getting shot 7 or 8 times. He lost a testicle. Like, by the graces of God, he survived that shooting. So it's like, you know what I mean? Why wouldn't she alert Tupac to her overhearing Puff Daddy and Jimmy Henchman in his office saying they were setting up a hit on Tupac? You care for Tupac so much. You really, love fucking Tupac so much. According to your tell-all, Kim's Last Words book, why wouldn't you tell Tupac that you overheard Jimmy Henchman and Diddy saying they wanted to unalive Tupac? They wanted to kill Tupac. Okay. So, goes on furthermore in the chapters. They had a lot of elaborate sex parties, girl. Like where Kim in the tell-all book says that, they fucked hundreds of people together. Some of the people were Mary J. Blige, J-Lo, Kim Lee Simmons, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. And girl, hearsay, I don't know. They had it blurred out in the book. Go back to my last live I just did and listen to the narrator, Conscious TV, as he reads to us the Kim's Last Words book, okay? That Puff Daddy and a blurred out person, but they're saying walked out in nothing but his boxers. They're coming to the alleged conclusion that it was Snoop Doggy Dogg. That he walked out of Puff Daddy's bedroom with Puff Daddy's cum stains on his back. Like Snoop Doggy Dogg from Long Beach. Snoop Doggy Dogg. Snoop Dogg. He came walking out of Puff Daddy's bedroom in his boxers with nut stains on his back. Like, I know y'all fucking lying. I know you're fucking lying. I'm gonna need some more backup to back up that motherfucking narrator. Or not narrator. That motherfucking part of the book of it being Snoop Dogg from the Dog Pound. What? That's what they saying, girl. That it could possibly be. That it was Will Smith or Snoop Dogg, girl. They saying they think it might have been Snoop Dogg. Okay, so going on further on in the chapters of the book, Diddy pulled a gun out at Kim Porter one time because she was like, Kim Porter was very like spunky. She was funky. Like she had a mouth on her. when dealing with Diddy Bop. And so, like, you know what I'm saying? She would be like, okay, Diddy, whatever, gay ass nigga. What, you don't want motherfuckers to know you're gay? Well, you don't want motherfuckers to know that you're fucking niggas in the ass. Let niggas fuck you in the ass, nigga. Like, for real, nigga. Like, okay, motherfucker, so what, motherfucker? Fuck you, nigga. That's how Kim Porter was with Diddy. So one day, Diddy and her are having a conversation, and he pulls a 22 gun out, pointed it at Kim Porter. She starts pleading, like, that's love? Like, how is the fuck is that love? How are you going to pull a gun out on me and then turn around the same breath and say you love me? And Diddy's like, yeah, there's no love without loyalty. You know, you either love me, you either are loyal to me and love me all the way and protect my secrets, protect what I got going on. You stand behind what I stand in front of every second of your breathing life, or I can stop your life from breathing type shit. Put a gun out on a girl, 22 gun. He goes on to say, you know, oh, I wouldn't shoot you though. Puts the gun away. I wouldn't shoot you. I would, you know, unalive you, kill you by possibly poison or an undetectable source, as he's done to others. He goes on to say in the tell-all book, according to Kim's last words, that he's, you know, had to unalive, kill people before. So, you know, it wouldn't be nothing. I'll just do it in a way that will nobody be able to detect it, and I'll just keep on pushing. So Kim was very scared to leave, feeling like she had no way out. You know, like she had no way out. She had already, you know, dealt with so much, become accustomed to a certain lifestyle living with Diddy. She was, you know how that goes. I'm scared, you know, to not be able to take care of myself and what I got to do to survive out here. Diddy's already provided a lot that I needed to take care of anything. I don't really have to take care of anything, much of anything, but just, you know, my survival at this point with Diddy. So I'll continue to take the money, the lavish gifts, trips, you know, homes, things like that, cars, clothes, and do these hundreds of freak offs, and, you know, give myself to whoever I need to, so that I can continue to allow myself to be taken care of. So it goes on in the book to talk about them wanting to, you know, kill Pac. Pac was killed. And people were asking, like, you know, did it happen? Did it happen? A daughter of Quincy Jones, like, did you do that shit? And he was like, no. And she was like, yeah, okay, it's looking like he did that shit. And so they were at a restaurant, and Kadada walks away, Quincy Jones's daughter, and as she's leaving to go powder her nose or whatever have you, Diddy picks up a pitcher of liquid that they were all drinking out of and takes it under the table and pisses in it. If Diddy ain't the nastiest, scoundrelest SOB, like, ew, you dirty SOB, you. He pees in the pitcher that Kadaja was drinking out of, Quincy Jones's daughter. So when she comes back, the bodyguard's like, oh, let me clear off the table so, you know, I can refresh y'all drinks, or however, whoever, you know, it's bodyguard, security, whoever. So I can clear, you know, the table and get some fresh drinks over here, you know, before it's made obvious she's drinking Diddy's piss. Like, are y'all fucking for real? Girl, I'm like, y'all know y'all doing way, way too motherfucking much. Way, way too motherfucking much, okay? So, we're gonna jump a few chapters to Diddy killing, having something alleged to do with killing Biggie Smalls. So Puff Daddy, Biggie Smalls gets killed in Los Angeles, going out there for an award event, and gets murdered. We know the story 1,000 times. So our condolences to Biggie's family. His Biggie's mom is like being made aware of some of the occurrences occurring like around the time Biggie got murdered and how it came to be. And she's just not vibing with the feel of what she's being told. She's thinking maybe Puff Daddy has something to do with it. And so Puff Daddy is with Kim Porter right at a restaurant. They walk into Biggie's mom. Biggie's mom is like, you know, this is what's being brought to me. I feel like it may have some truth to it. I'm asking you what the fuck is up with it. He's like, no, I would never. I'm grieving too. And she's like, well, what about the money my son must have had? He was a big rap star, even in his short reign on earth. He really walked, you know, and made a lot of money out here. Where is some of it so I can continue to carry on his legacy as children? And Puff did exactly what, you know, managers do that swindle, scam, steal. Oh, it's wrapped up in publishing. It's wrapped up in, you know, traveling. It's wrapped up in concerts. It's wrapped up in me making him a goddamn celebrity, you know, a goddamn rap icon. Like, it's wrapped up in all of that. And she's like, my son didn't owe you nothing, motherfucker. Like, where is the money at for real? And he's like, I'm going to get my lawyer to look into it. You know what I'm saying? He was schooled really well by some of the top scheming, scamming ass motherfuckers, Clyde Davis and all of that. He was, you know, he was schooled pretty well in how to motherfucking fake fool and fraud a motherfucker. So, yeah, girl. So, yeah, it's just like, oh my God, girl. I want to look more into, because I know Biggie Small's mom was online not too long ago talking about it. Let's see if I can find it now here. And Biggie Small's mom on Biggie, or on Dick. Excuse me. Biggie mother speaks on Diddy. Okay, this is from 1 year ago. Okay. Let's take a listen.
Stopped at the light. Stopped at the light. I see some chicks on the curb. Before you know it, a car just rolled up, started hopping in the car. Everybody got down in the truck until that shit stopped. You all hopped out. Everybody door open but Biggie.
Something gotta change. I don't give a if Pac gotta die, Big gotta die, or Suge Knight go to jail. Something's gotta change. They took upstairs. He turned around and walked back upstairs. And it didn't dawn on me what he said. And then my man looked at me, and Ron was like, yo, that nigga said Big. I said, yo, he sure did. He said, yeah. He said, Big gotta die? He said, yo, he said Big.
What happened to that album? It was recorded. It was being mixed and mastered upon Biggie's death. It was supposed to have came out that summer after Biggie's album, because Biggie's album was slated. He died a week and a half before his album came out. Then the commission was supposed to come out. That was supposed to be his exit from Bad Boy. And then starting his own coverage. It supported all the Bad Boy.
That's real, yo. The more money you make, the more problems you get.
The mystery surrounding the unsolved murder of hip-hop legend Notorious Big has been shrouded in controversy and speculation for over 2 decades. But now, Biggie's mother, Valletta Wallace, has come forward to reveal shocking details about her son's death. In a recent interview, she accuses music mogul Diddy of lying and setting up Biggie to be killed. Could this be the key to finally solving the case? And what role did Diddy play in the death of one of the greatest rappers of all time? Let's investigate together. The matriarch of the hip-hop industry, Valletta Wallace, has come forward with a groundbreaking statement on the 20th death anniversary of her only son, Biggie Smalls, famous as Notorious Big. In an interview with the Daily Mail, she admits she feels hurt every single day knowing that she will never see her son again and that his killer is still at large. In her emotional statement, statement, she said, "I have a very good idea who murdered Christopher, and I genuinely believe that the LAPD know exactly who did too. They've done their investigation, but they just refuse to move forward. I don't know why they haven't arrested who was involved. It seems to me that it's one giant conspiracy, and someone is definitely being protected somewhere down the line. There's no closure for me until that murderer is behind bars and sentenced." Fans are still hopeful and supporting Miss Wallace that someday she would be able to reopen this case. "I hope Miss Wallace builds the strength to reopen the case and get the justice she deserves." Not only the star's mother, his wife Faith Evans have made some similar claims.
Well, we know he was murdered, but we believe that the LAPD knows who's responsible.
Well, even though these claims cannot be made in court, Gene Deal also has similar revelations about the case in point. According to him, his frat brother was the one who made Gene Deal's meeting with Miss Wallace possible.
Crying, she said, "They keep telling me Gene Deal, Gene Deal. Who is Gene Deal?" And my frat brother like, "Miss Wallace, that's my frat brother. I'll call him right now."
And he went on to tell that Miss Wallace asked Puffy about Gene, and he immediately denied knowing him.
She said she had been looking for me because the police and had told her, "Ask Gene Deal, ask Gene Deal." She asked Puffy who Gene Deal was. Puffy said, "I don't know no Gene Deal."
Bad Boy Records' former president, Kirk Burroughs, has added to these claims that Biggie was scheduled to travel to London for a journalist meet and greet.
And then give it back to me. I didn't understand that. That's like a trick.
But did he cancel the plan for Biggie, claiming he wanted to stay in LA that unfortunate night?
I didn't want to give it up. So he came to my office one day unexpectedly and kicked my salary, so I had to put it out. But he had that like.
Fans expressed that they were shocked when the London concert was canceled. "I still have my London ticket for 1997. I remember being shocked that the concert was canceled and that he was going to LA instead." Another summed up the facts saying, "So let me get this right. Puff said Big wasn't going to London after all the money Clive Davis spent on him there. Also went there a week earlier. Then Puff kept him there where he lost his life." Well, but that is not all. After Tupac's death, Puffy had already planned for Biggie's murder, and he had no...
With HoneyBook, you can make sure your marketing business is as polished and professional as you really are. Here's how. I'm Millie, a content creator coach and business owner. If I had to start my business from zero, I would have focused on building up.
No remorse about it.
Something's gotta change. He took upstairs, he turned around and walked back upstairs. And it didn't dawn on me what he said. And then my man looked at me and Bun was like, "Yo."
Add to that, Gene was immediately suspicious about Diddy's involvement in Biggie's demise because he pushed Diddy's arms off him when he was superficially heartbroken about Biggie's death. Gene explains his last encounter with Diddy saying,
"When he grabbed both of my arms, "Gene, we gotta pray, we gotta pray." And I pushed that nigga arms off me and I said, "Yo, pray for what? That nigga's dead."
This encounter screams Diddy's guilty conscience, but that is not all. Even though Gene did not meet Diddy again, he was very generous about telling the details of the last moments of Biggie and the things he found suspicious. The former Bad Boy member stated that Biggie did not want to go to the vibe party, but Puffy convinced him to go.
It seemed like Big wasn't gonna go to the vibe party. But every day, man, you going to the vibe party? We're gonna do it. We gotta go there, man. We gotta go to the vibe party. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go there.
At that time, Gene already knew that if someone was going to plan a hit on Biggie, that party would be the best place to plan. Gene also revealed that Diddy planned in advance to not ride with the Juicy rapper to be in the safe zone. "I told your driver Kenny to run the next 3 lights. Kenny ran the light, Big stopped at the light, Big got killed. Although running the red light was less suspicious, putting the SUV in park confirmed."
If you're waiting at the light, you don't put the car in park, especially after your friends have blew the light.
Gene also explained, "It is a common understanding among gang members that if there are more than one car, all members must follow the leading driver."
Everybody knows. It's follow the leader. I shouldn't have to tell any grown-ass man that drives that if I run the light, you run the light. We all run the light.
But even if the driver stopped at the light, why did he put the car in parking? Even in normal circumstances, you never park a car while waiting for the light, much less when you are a member of a gang a few months before a murder like Tupac's has already taken place.
You wait at a light, pow, and that shit is close to you. Do you put your foot on the gas or you throw it in park?
Not just the gang members, Diddy also has influence on the investigation carried by LAPD as well. According to Gene, LAPD was crooked in their working.
They showed me a picture of the Muslim guy. His face was laid out in front of my morning.
Gene recognized the guy immediately, but the forces did not get back to him after identifying him. Even his name was erased from the file records.
I said, "That's the guy right there." Walked up to the car. They said he was going to straighten out the face of the picture, come back out to New York. I never heard from him again.
This specific claim was backed up by the FBI agent Phil Carson as well.
He asked the LAPD about that picture because he said he had seen it before, but it wasn't in the file. And the LAPD officer, Katz, told him, said, no, we ain't show Gene did no picture like that. He said,
Well, fans agree with Gene's version of the story of that unfortunate night. Puffy did it? No doubt. Why did he leave Collie literally the day after it happened and ditch the rest of his crew? Why did he ride separately when he always used to ride with Big? Why was it so important for Gene to ride with Puffy? You either get it or you'll never work for Bad Boy again. Why was the car already parked on the side of the road waiting for Biggie to pull up? And why was it so damn important to be in Collie in the first place? 6 months after Pac's death, with barely any security, Puff got some explaining to do. But the story is far from over. Gene wrote a book to uncover everything that happened that night and how Diddy was connected to it. He also got a publishing contract for it.
our hope was for me going in, all of a sudden, after giving me a contract for $75,000, cut me a check for $25,000. We got down to the last week.
And Puffy goes and contacts the same publishing house to write and publish his book in an attempt to stop Gene's to come out. And he does.
$4 million, and he put out his book, and he never put it out.
From the start, Biggie's mother had a bad feeling about Puffy associating with Biggie. She also writes in her book Biggie, Beletta Wallace remembers her son, Christopher, about it. The truth is, Christopher accepted the illusion of a friend and mentor for about $25,000. That's the amount Puffy lured my son with. That was a lot of money for Christopher back then as a 19-year-old. He had never seen that much at one time in his life. It was enough money to make my son believe that Puffy was ready to do anything for him. It was enough to buy a blind love and loyalty. Besides, Gene believed that his book containing the truth was delayed because of racism. He had to face several legal problems to get his book published. In contrast to the white FBI agent, Phil Carson, who came out with his version of the truth, faced no such difficulties.
He just came out. See, it's all right for them white boys, you understand, to do their 20 years and then come out with books.
But Gene lost his job because of his book in which he repeated his version of the story. Also, he had to go to a number of court hearings to get it back.
And I lost my job, and I went through 6 arbitration hearings to get it back.
Well, it's mind-boggling how Phil Carson is being praised for the same thing Gene said again and again in the face repercussions. However, fans completely agree with Gene's consistent story and predict Puffy's downfall when someone else more influential comes in the industry. I followed Gene's consistently told story. My opinions went from Puffy being negligent towards a huge possibility that he truly knew or had something to do with Big's assignation. We have a right to know these things. Big was a public figure and we're the public. It's a well-known fact that COINTELPRO uses and protects entertainers like your Jay-Z's and Puffys for sinister reasons against us. It's also a well-known fact that when the powers have used them up, the protection goes away. I predict that when someone else comes along, maybe younger with more influence, then Puffy will be held accountable. That's it for today, folks. Until next time, goodbye.
Hey, wanna know about
Okay,
that
so that
$50,000 check
was
by
a little bit
accident about 5
about
months ago? Look, if you've been injured in a car accident that wasn't your fault, you have to watch this video. There's a little known loophole
Puff
that
Daddy's,
insurance companies don't want you to know about. A loophole that allows you to get
you know, suspicion about him killing
service without settling for less, jumping through.
Biggie Smalls. Okay. I want to find where his mom speaks on it. I know it's here somewhere. Let me see exactly where I can find that. Okay. Biggie's mom's shocking statement.
Biggie's mom made a crazy statement.
Was not only a musician, an artist. Christopher was a son, was a grandson, was a nephew. He was a good friend. And people need to see that part of him that nobody else knows.
Eventually, she continues to mention that his death was planned by the people around him. With Pac's killer in prison, a lot of old cases. So just soon enough, we might have a map for what really happened between Biggie, Tupac, and P. Diddy. Biggie's mom made a crazy statement.
Okay. So that was a short insert of something Biggie's mom spoke on. Let's see what this one says.
Biggie's mom exposes Diddy for sacrificing Biggie. Diddy has been accused of being responsible for the passing of Biggie many times in the past, but never has he actually been accused by Biggie's very own mother. During a recent interview, Biggie's mom revealed that she thinks P. Diddy is the man behind Biggie's passing. And honestly, after hearing what she has to say, I'm starting to believe it. There's many reasons people actually believe that Diddy set Biggie up. And I must say, Biggie's mom has a few great points. It's said that Diddy worked with some upper-level people to get this done. And that's the reason he's yet to be arrested for Biggie's passing. It's interesting to hear what Biggie's mom thinks about her son's passing, and I never thought she'd actually put the blame on Diddy. Biggie's mom exposes Diddy for sacrificing Biggie. Diddy has been accused of being
Okay,
responsible for the
let's keep going. I know that it's something where she says it herself and not just, somebody speaking about it. It was like maybe a few months ago she spoke on it. Let's see.
Valletta Wallace, the mother of the late rapper Notorious B.I.G., told Rolling Stone that she wants to put her hands on Sean Diddy Combs' face. According to USA Today, she expressed being sick to her stomach over Diddy's legal troubles and the allegations against him. Wallace said she is praying for Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura and his mother after seeing the 2016 hotel video. Valletta Wallace.
Okay, that's another. However, we have been, told that by Biggie's mom. I can't find the exact. If y'all got it, send it to Tanisha, Tenesha, Talks, TALKS, Teas, TEAS at Gmail. No. Back up. Just send it to TanishaTalks@gmail.com. No T's at the end. My Gmail for Tanisha Talks Teas is Tanisha Talks, TenishaTalks@gmail.com. For anything that you guys can find, email it to me of Biggie's mom in her own words saying those things. I know I've seen it. I just can't find it. If y'all can find it, send it to me by email. Okay, so going on, Kim Porter's Last Words book. J-Lo and them have all had threesomes together. It goes on to allege that in her last words, her own words, that Puffy made Faith Evans fuck Tupac and Biggie Smalls so that she could create a beef and also handle Biggie Smalls to keep Biggie Smalls under Puff Daddy's thumb, which would also furthermore explain why she was so freely, willed to marry Stevie J, even though Stevie J was also a very good friend of Biggie and Puff Daddy's. And they were all having threesomes together. I wonder if they were having threesomes when they were when Faith and Stevie J were married, because they had already fucked before. So it's like, I wonder if they were fucking still just these past few years back. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't seem like Diddy ever turned down the freak value. Shine goes on to tell further on more in the Kim Porter's Last Words book, tell-all book, that Shine was supposed to replace Biggie Smalls, which is the reason why, Diddy was so, nonchalant about murdering, or could have possibly allegedly had him murdered, because he was supposed to, if that happened, okay, he can replace Biggie. But then at the club, y'all remember back in the day, in the late 90s, early 2000s, Diddy and Shine and J-Lo were all at a club, and a woman got shot in the face. Woman, said that it was Diddy that shot her. However, Shine took the charge. So that would end the coming into, Shine replacing Biggie, right? And then in the book, it goes on to say, in Kim's Last Words, or tell our book, that Biggie was like, you know, talking with Kim Porter. Oh, so what? You know, that he sounded like.
Thanks for watching. Remember to show your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing. It's a blessing. Keep your teacups filled and ready for my next upload. Until then, stay inspired and remember, always stay dipping.